Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Serby. I'm the elder dentist, and I'm here to talk to my patients, my older patients who I've seen at my ProDentures dental practice. We've made dentures, we've made partials, and you're wearing them now. But I'm going to teach you at this point how to sterilize your dentures and partials because it's crucially important for a healthy life. The germs that are growing on your dentures, on almost everyone's dentures, are very, very dangerous. 100% of dentures are growing staph and are growing candida, yeast. And the staph is now very difficult to kill with germs. In fact, there's a name of one of them, MRSA, methicillin-resistant Staph aureus. And there are candidas, fungus that grow on dentures that are very difficult to kill and are very dangerous infections. And the reason we haven't heard about any of this apparently is there's a great big hole where dentures are concerned in medicine, and it's being ignored by, well, seniors are being ignored by dentists in general. There is no older person specialist, which is why I'm making one up, because it's needed. And doctors ignored dentistry entirely. If it's in a mouth, they have nothing to do with it. And now the problem is dentures are in a mouth, and dentures are now growing all of these horrible germs, the methicillin-resistant staph and all the candidas, and the patients in nursing homes are covered in horrible germs. 50% of them are growing MRSA, methicillin staph resistant, in their skin and nose, and the doctors are ignoring the fact that it's their dentures that are actually growing the MRSA and every other thing in the world. Doctors don't see dentures. They let them in the hospital and in the ICU. And during the COVID surge, seniors from nursing homes went to the hospital, went to the ICU, and they brought their dentures, of course, and all of the germs on the dentures got deposited at the ICU on top of everything else that goes there. And the ICU, now the next patient in the ICU caught whatever they had, Acinetobacter, all of the Pseudomonas, all the really very destructive, deadly germs are growing on your dentures. And it's time to stop, truth be told. And we're gonna, you wouldn't believe the problems that constant germ exposure causes in your body. The root cause of aging is free radicals and reactive oxygen species. Well, those are the things that are made by your immune system as it's making hypochlorous acid to kill the germ. It's making free radicals and reactive oxygen species, which do turn into, in large part, hypochlorous acid, which does kill the germs inside there. But the free radicals that are also created, in large part, also go everywhere and damage DNA. It's very reactive. There's nothing you can do about it. Antioxidants don't affect it at all. And our DNA gets lightning striked by a flood of free radicals every time our immune system is called upon to make hypochlorous acid. My job, apparently, is to teach the world that hypochlorous acid can be made on the outside extremely easily. I can make a cup of hypochlorous acid for pennies and use it on the outside of my body rather than letting germs get inside. Use it on the denture to sterilize the denture and completely kill all the germs and have a clean, germ-free mouth and denture. And that's my job, to bring that to you. And what that opens up in terms of living a germ-free life and not getting sick is nothing short of amazing. And I'll get to that in time. But first things, we're going to make hypochlorous acid, which used externally on the body, on surfaces, everything on the outside, rather than make it on the inside, which causes a free radical storm and ages us or causes cancer. DNA damage causes cancer. So we don't want to use our immune systems at all. We want our intact skin, and we want a better germ killer, which happens to be hypochlorous acid. Use what God uses on the inside, on the outside. And we're going to make it. On the outside, it in fact is an ideal disinfectant, kills germs on contact on any surface. It's an ideal antiseptic. It kills germs on your skin. And it's an ideal wound killer at a certain concentration. It kills germs on the outside on open skin and allows it to heal much, much faster than without it. So we're going to make some hypochlorous acid now, and I'll show you how ridiculously easy it is. And we're going to use it to sterilize your dentures and your partials and your mouth. Let's start there. We'll move on to everything else in time, but we're going to make some hypochlorous acid. And it starts with, well, bleach. Hypochlorite is what's in here. It's at a high pH. pH of whatever it is. This is a bottle of two things. It's hypochlorite, which is hypochlorous acid's inactive form. It's not active in here, and it'll stay forever, which is why they use hypochlorite in a bottle. It is non-reactive compared to hypochlorous acid. And they also store it at a high pH. So this is essentially a bottle of lye. Hypochlorite, pH 13, 12 or 13, pure sodium hypochlorite lye is pH of 14. So this is at 13. It's just a slightly diluted lye with hypochlorite in it. And how much hypochlorite? This is concentrated disinfecting bleach, what we would be wanting. And it has 7.5% hypochlorite. It's right there anyway. 7.5% hypochlorite. And that's what it's starting with. We have bleach. In fact, let's start right now. I like to make a cup of it. It's a perfect volume of hypochlorous acid. What's in front of my word? No, don't do that. Anyway, and we'll start with, this is an 8-ounce cup sprayer I got online. Lalissa is the name of this thing. It's just 8 ounces. I'm putting tap water in it. So we're starting at 1 cup of water to make our hypochlorous acid to kill germs on a denture. And it'll be a spray bottle. All right. Actually, I do this for my patients. I give them their own bottle here, and I'm going to make one for you here. And I have a label that I put on them, and the label says, "Sterilize dentures daily with 150 ppm HOCl." Okay, we're going to make 150 ppm HOCl, and we're going to take a little bit of hypochlorite, which is the high pH version of hypochlorous acid. So let's start with that. All we need are 10 drops in a cup. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 drops of 7.5% bleach. This is a pink pipette. You can get them at any little store, any hobby store, or an eyedropper. A drop is a drop. 20 drops to a milliliter, so it's accurate. All right. Actually, let's check. All right, we have made, this is important. We've made 150 ppm. We've already put all of the hypochlorite that we want in here. I'm going to check the pH. pH is important. So this is a pH test strip. You just sit it in the water. And it is pH of, I don't know what it is. There it is, 8. Yeah. All right, we are 8, 7, close to 7 and 8. Okay, we've got some bleach in the water, and it's pH of above 7. All right, and like it says on my bottle here, there it is, 10 drops of 7.5% bleach, 10 drops of any vinegar in 1 cup of water. Here's the same thing. We are going to, like a pool, we're going to acid adjust the pH of our solution so that, I'll show you a graph in a little bit, so that all of the hypochlorite that we start with turns into hypochlorous acid, which is the chemical that we want to kill germs. So we got 10 drops of vinegar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And vinegar being 5% acetic acid. So we've taken some hypochlorite and acid adjusted it. So the volume of hypochlorite is 150 parts per million, which is very dilute, really. I mean, you saw it's just 10 drops in a cup. So this is very dilute hypochlorous acid. Okay, and we end up with 150 ppm in a spray bottle, and it tastes a little bit like pool water. In fact, it is. So let's put that there. Second recipe I want to make for you guys immediately here. We're going to take a gallon of water. We want to make hypochlorous acid in a gallon size. Because I figure it's one One cup is a good spray bottle. It lasts a long time, and it can be used all sorts of places in the household. But the reality is, I don't want to keep making it with the drops and the like. So we're going to do this again. I've got a gallon of water, most of a gallon of water. It's just tap water. And if you think about it, tap water has got 1 to 2 parts per million of chlorine in the form of hypochlorous acid. And it allows us to have clean water arriving at the kitchen tap because of a tiny amount of chlorine. And we put a little bit more chlorine in our pools, 5 to 10 ppm, and jump in it with our eyes open and our mouth open, and it's fine. It's clean. It's healthful. We come out of a pool, well, cleaner than when we went in. The germs are killed if the pool has been well maintained and the concentration of chlorine and pH are correct. So we need both. We need hypochlorous acid at a correct concentration. We're looking for about 50 to 300 ppm to be used as a germ killer in our lives, which will help us in all sorts of different ways. All right, so we're going to do this again. We're making we're using hypochlorite. This is 1 tablespoon. Okay, here's the that's the recipe for a gallon of 300 ppm. This is 1 tablespoon. Ooh, that's hard to do. I need a better tablespoon for liquids. Spill it. Yep. Anyway, so be it. This that I spilled, now that's bleach. That's pH 8, 6, and yes, if I wanted to, it would likely bleach my shirt here. Oh well, but for demonstration purposes. So I got 1 tablespoon of that, and similarly, we are going to have 1 tablespoon of acetic acid. It's the same amount, whatever you make. It's all the same amount. I put it in a chart. I've written it all in a book. It ended up about 94 pages and many, many, many pictures. It's an interesting story. But the bottom line is you want to make and use hypochlorous acid on the outside to kill germs rather than let them on the inside and cause a free radical process that ages us and gives us cancer hidden, and the doctors are ignoring and the dentists are ignoring. Okay, so I have now this is 300 ppm of hypochlorous acid at a pH of 6. Oh, I haven't shown you the chart yet, but the pH determines what you have, whether it's hypochlorous acid or hypochlorite. High pH in a bottle, it's all going to be hypochlorite. Once you put it in water, which is pH 7, now the hypochlorite grabs a hydrogen from the water and turns itself into hypochlorous acid, which is what we want. Boy, I just really got bleach on me. I don't have anything to wipe it off with. Sorry. So that wasn't great. This was not a great liquid pouring tool. So I have made 300 ppm HOCl, a gallon of it, and I've made a cup of 150 ppm HOCl. Okay, and what do we use it for? If you'd like to make yourself, we got 300 ppm here, which essentially is germ-killing water. You've seen how much it is here, how little bleach is actually in here. It's a chlorine, and it's 300 ppm is fairly the top end of it here, of what we want to make. I'll get into who else is selling this and what each one does. But we're going to finish our kitchen example. If I had made 300 ppm and it's in the refrigerator and it lasts forever here. I've got a gallon. I want 150 for my spray bottle. Let's just start with that. So I'm putting about half a cup or so of 300 ppm in my spray bottle, and adding the other half of just water. So 1-to-1 dilution of 300 turns into 150. Not that hard to figure out. So for pennies, I have made, well, a gallon of it to sit in the refrigerator so I can use it whenever I need to kill germs, be it in the kitchen or the bathroom or the anywhere in your life. We'll go over all the different uses of hypochlorous acid and all the good things that it does. But this is all it takes: vinegar, bleach, vinegar, spray bottle, a cup, and you can make a cup of it here. If you want a teaspoon, you use a gallon and a tablespoon, and you've made volume of germ-killing water. So let's take a break. We're going to start using the things that we've made, mostly the hypochlorous acid. Let's start using hypochlorous acid and show you the difference. What did we say we were going to start with? The very first thing we wanted was dentures, partials, dentures, whether they're full plastic partials, full dentures, or the metal partial ones. I thought I had them somewhere. They can all be sprayed with hypochlorous acid. You just made some. It's just great. I turn this around so it shows. And I'm going to spray my denture. How hard is that? Actually, if I had my druthers, you take the denture out, and you got a denture brush, that would make sense. Brushy, brushy, brush. Get the stuff off of it. It makes sense. Come on. Get the denture clean using a brush and a toothbrush. You don't have to use toothpaste. But then if you spray it with hypochlorous acid, now you have a sterilized denture. Could you put it in a cup? Absolutely. You could put it in a cup and have volume of 300 ppm. Boy, would that kill it. It actually will kill it in minutes. It doesn't have to stay overnight, but it certainly can. Maybe the first time it really should. When you all the germs that have been living on this denture since you went to the hospital, since you had COVID, since you had that infection after surgery, all the germs that you've been carrying around for years need to be dead. And it can be dead. There are two ways to do it. If you want to look at this cup, one way is, I don't know if it's even going to focus on it. It says, sterilize both dentures and partials 3 minutes in a microwave. In a cup of water, you can sterilize dentures and partials and plastic things in the microwave in 3 minutes. We boil it. Again, the dentists who were bought off by GlaxoSmithKline said, no, we don't want to do that. And frankly, yeah, it might, if you have, if you've put your denture together with super glue and soft liners and all sorts of crap over the years, right, as it gets old and you get old. Well, if you stick it in the microwave and boil it, the pieces might come apart. So, plan B, this is the other method that was ignored by GlaxoSmithKline, which is bleach or hypochlorous acid, not hypochlorite. And the doctors who do this are maddeningly stupid about the chemistry that they're calling. They always call it hypochlorite because it starts in a hypochlorite bottle, but they'll say 80 hypochlorous acid, pH adjusted hypochlorite, is 80 to 100 times better germ killer, meaning hypochlorite doesn't do squat. But it does dissociate into hypochlorous acid when you put it in water, and especially if you add some hydrogen, some acid, and it'll turn into 100% hypochlorous acid. In fact, let's look at that. That's how simple it is to clean the dentures and partials. Spray them with hypochlorous acid, and the germs are killed. You want to get fancy? I would do this. Here's my toothbrush. Why not? If you've got teeth still, if you've got a partial denture and you really need to keep the teeth to keep the partial denture working, use a toothbrush. Use hypochlorous acid in your mouth. How about we kill germs? We've made germ-killing water. It doesn't hurt. It's not toxic. You should see it. It's perfect. It doesn't do anything other than it's just water that happens to kill germs. Yes, we can use it on surfaces here. I'm sure there are no germs right where I'm sitting. It is an ideal disinfectant on any surface. In fact, here we go. Here's proof. Clorox makes Anywhere, daily disinfectant and sanitizer. Anywhere. They're very emphatic about anywhere. And if you look closely, I don't know that it'll go in there, but it's 0.014% hypochlorous acid. And they even say it, hypochlorous acid. So they pH adjusted it. It's pH 6. It's 140 ppm. 10 drops of vinegar and 10 drops of 7.5% bleach makes 150 ppm. They are exactly the same. This costs pennies. This can be bought, although it's not stocked anywhere that I've ever seen. But if you look at it, they're serious about anywhere. It's great for food preparation areas, restaurants, schools, daycare centers, workplace, kennels. It sanitizes hard, non-porous food contact surface areas in a minute, removes dentures, kills 99% of germs commonly found in bacteria in kitchen. Do you have any doubt that if it kills germs everywhere, it wouldn't also kill germs on your denture? It's just plastic. It's just methyl methacrylate. It's I forget what it's called. Anyway, we can boil it, or we can use a chlorine solution, hypochlorous acid, for pure germ killing. What's missing from all the 42 different ways of doing it, grocery starts, carts, diaper cleaning, diapers would be smart. What is diaper rash? Nothing but a yeast infection. What kills yeast on contact? Hypochlorous acid. You can use this for dentures, certainly, but now how about baby bottoms that don't want a yeast infection? Where else you got yeast infection? It's toes, on the toes. What is it called? Fungus. Athlete's foot. It's yeast. All right, spray this a couple times a day. No more yeast. Okay, so 150 ppm hypochlorous acid has been made, is sold out there, and their claim to it is that it kills germs everywhere, anywhere. There are other companies that sell lots of hypochlorous acid solutions. Brio is another one that sells pretty much one product, which is 100 to 200 ppm hypochlorous acid in 20 different bottles, because they sell it for pets and babies and skin and eyes and mouth swish and odor, bad breath, all of the different things, because it actually works. It works beautifully. Hypochlorous acid is the best thing in the world. Let me put this over here. There we go. So we've got essentially the same thing. One I bought, one I made. What else can we do? We can buy Bioxy. We can buy professional deep cleansing hypochlorous acid. It's no ammonia, no alcohol, non-toxic, no chemicals, no fumes. It is hypochlorous acid. And if you look closely at it, it is 0.03%. All right, 0.03% equals 300 ppms, which I just made here. So you can buy this, or you can make it yourself. And this is useful for, what do they say? Safe and effective, eco-friendly, no rinse necessary, safe for everyday contact surfaces, baby, pet areas, toys, pacifiers. 18 months shelf life. 18 months shelf life with the top closed, not in sunlight, in a refrigerator. It'll last as long as you ever need it to. So the solutions that we can make at home are on the market, are used for every surface available, every surface in your house, and will kill germs everywhere it's used. I want to add dentures. So let's start with dentures, okay? Shall we continue? Yeah, let's continue. Well, I want to do dentures. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm getting there. So if we use, start with germ-free dentures, Clorox Anywhere, and then now, which leads to a home. All right, so now you can use your homemade hypochlorous acid at pH 6 to safe, non-toxic. You can use it on mouthwash, kill germs. Let's see. Your home, kitchen, bathroom. You can use it also on a mouthbrush. I already talked about mouth and toothbrush. It's just a little pool. It's just a little pool water. I know it kills germs on contact. If you'd like no gum disease, you need only do two things. We can end gum disease right now with your hypochlorous acid. I like toothpicks. You can floss if you'd like, but I mean, just like the dentures, you want to clean the organics off of it and just leave it wet with hypochlorous acid, and it will be completely germ-free in just minutes, seconds probably. I like toothpicks. This is a little toothpick, a little rubber-ended toothpick that I generally use. And so if I were in my car, yes, I have a toothbrush in my car. I have a I have a spray bottle of 150 ppm in my car and in my bathroom. And I actually like the car one best. I got one in my office, of course. But I'm a dentist. I like to kill germs here. But I mean, I'm using it to brush my teeth. And all I really need to do is clean between teeth with a toothpick. And that is so simple. It takes seconds because we get the biofilm disrupted. And they're made by Gum, G-U-M. I like them. Interdental cleaners. And they're, in my book, they're reusable. Heck, I could even spray them. No germs. It's all gone. Germs do not have to live in your mouth, which is an interesting thought. How healthy would you be if you had no germs in your mouth? It's the middle of everything. If your mouth is germy, of course, now your fingers are, your eyes are, your skin is, and you put it everywhere. If you're wearing a denture in your mouth and the denture is growing all these horrible germs from all months and months ago, there's always colonies on there. The denture tablets kills 1 in 10,000, but when you're starting with 10 to the 9th, okay, fine, kill 10 to the 4th. And you've still got 10 to the, whatever, 5th. All right, that's it's 100,000. Colony forming units. They count germs on dentures and how many there is. And we just need to kill the damn things. And it's just ridiculous. The dentures, the doctors were bought off to not do that, and it's a shame because this is killing us. Anyway, we're back to brushing toothbrush. Why wouldn't gum disease be ended? Toothpick between the teeth, brush with hypochlorous acid solution, 150 ppm, drip it down your chin. All right, spray my brush, put it down, spray my mouth. I'm done. I get a drink of water if I wanted. I have that in the car too. Anyway, I end up with no germs in my mouth. Why should I have periodontal disease with it's just a gram-negative pathogen when I have a solution that kills germs on contact? That if they were inside, that my body would make the hypochlorous acid exactly this in the same by a process that's damaging to my health. So I'm going to use it on the outside, not ingesting germs, and all of my patients are going to know that they don't have to have germs on their dentures and swallow billions of germs every day and then force your body to fight them, causing you cancer and infections and any open skin when any wound or surgery or anything, pressure sores, diabetic open sores. Oh, okay. Now we're going to get to an interesting one. What else can we do with hypochlorous acid, specifically 300 ppm? It's germ-killing water. I didn't buy it like this. This is 150 ppm that I went and bought. It looks like this. But I did find you can buy it in bulk. We already said that. Where is it going to be now? I'm sorry. I wrote all this down in a book. So I have actually lots and lots of pictures about dentures and cleanings and oh, there it was. That was the one I wanted. Vash. I'm looking for the wound killer. Okay, let me get these pictures here. And anyway, hopefully the book, the PDF of these pages is available anytime soon. And available just in PDF form. I just want you to see here. Hypochlorous acid, an ideal wound care agent with powerful microbiocidal antibiofilm and wound healing potency. It makes sense that HOCl on the inside would enhance healing. So if you think about it, when you get injured, germs get inside and your body makes the hypochlorous acid through the free radical process in your white blood cells and kills the germ. But then the body also has to repair the damage of whatever allowed the germs to get inside. And so that after hypochlorous acid, you're going to have enhanced healing. And so internally, when your body makes a hypochlorous acid, it kickstarts the healing processes. Well, it happens similarly if you use externally applied hypochlorous acid. We find that the healing is also kickstarted. This is VASH. This is a wound cleanser, 300 ppm at pH of 5.5. And here's an interesting. We're finally going to see what chlorine does at various pHs here. This is where, well, this is hypochlor. This is 5.5, and you can see that the hypochlorous acid at the pH of between 4 and 6 is 100%. The chlorine exists only as hypochlorous acid starting at pH 6. So there is no sodium hypochlorite, which is basically inactive anyway, nor is there any hydroxide, the lye that we were talking about that is so useful in cleaning clothes and dissolving oils and like lye and lard turn into soap. It's very good at cutting fatty acids, but we don't want it when we're actually putting it on our skin. Hydroxide would be painful. pH up here, pH way up here, it's all hypochlorite, but it's all hydroxide. We don't want any of that. So we're down to a wound killer of 5 or to 6, which is essentially what we made here. 300 ppm, pH 6. That would be, right next to VASH, right there. So we made VASH wound cleanser, essentially, with 2 teaspoons each in a gallon. Great stuff. I love it. I'm sorry. This is directions on how to use it. It's a skin and wound cleansing solution containing 0.33% hypochlorous acid at a pH of 5.5. Broad spectrum, chlorine-based antimicrobial. It's shown effectiveness in vitro against bacteria, fungus, spores, viruses. Kill time for most organisms is 15 seconds. The solution also disrupts biofilms. It says it's safe to use on tendons, ligaments, cartilage, and bone. It's on the inside. It's safe to use around eyes, ears, genitalia. Safe for pediatric population, including neonates. Safe. It's completely safe. It's germ-killing water. Water doesn't hurt. A tiny bit of hypochlorous acid, which the body makes and looks forward to, frankly, in keeping it healthy. VASH in clinical practice. Interesting stuff. All right, what does VASH do? What kind of wounds does it heal? We have venous leg wounds. We have whatever these things. I wish you would focus in on me. We need to see this. Anyway, please focus. I don't know how you do it. How do you get the thing to focus? Anyway, the holes in our body are just tremendous. Venous leg wounds, diabetic foot ulcers, kids, burns, open skin. We use VASH 330 ppm, or maybe our germ-killing water directly on it. In this case, I'm to use on dentures and in a mouth. This material, this concentration of hypochlorous acid is very mild. This tastes kind of yucko. So I would save it. Well, I would save it for wounds. Truth be told, we just saw what VASH will do. They expect it to, and the directions is to soak the wound in whatever, put it on gauze and let it stay wet on the 3 to 5 to 10 minutes if there's if it's a yucky wound. 5 to 10 minutes once or twice a day. That's it. That's all you need to do. And signs and symptoms of local wound infection are resolved in 2 weeks. That sounds decent. This is Brio. There's another picture from Brio. This is a diabetic foot, infected diabetic foot. I think it said Pseudomonas on it. And it looks sick. And all they do is spray at 200 ppm at pH 4. That's their thing. 3 times a day. Healing was seen in weeks. You know the diabetes is still there. It's anecdotal, sure, but come on, that works. It works well. It makes sense that it works. If the body is making this on the inside to kill germs, why wouldn't we use it on the outside everywhere possible? And this is our concentrations that we want to use. And we can make it ourselves. So we have a germ-free denture. We have a germ-free home. We have a germ-free mouth. We have germ-free skin now. Whether it's by spraying, take a shower, you got a wound, you got You got an open sore, you got anywhere in the skin, yeah, spray your skin on the outside to kill germs. Anywhere on the outside, in the mouth and nose and skin and wounds especially. Now it gets even better. This is the next thing we're gonna spend here time. It's interesting as hell. You're not gonna believe it. How would you like to never get COVID again? I don't know where I put this shit. I'd like to put it here. How would you like to never get COVID, never get sick again, never get a cold again? Well, we start with 300 ppm hypochlorous acid, and we put it in, excuse me a second, one of these things. Ta-da-da. This is an ultrasonic cool mist humidifier. I'm just going to put some in the reservoir. We just made it. It's brand new. All right, and pop this on here. Ta-da! And then when we turn it on, 1, 2, 3. I don't know if you can see it. This one doesn't show much. It makes a mist. Very fine mist. I wish it was big. I wish it was better. In fact, let me get something dark. Can we see it? Yeah, there it is. I'm not a big fan of this one. I like it. It's nose size, and that's the answer. How do we clean the germs off of our inside skin? And it involves hypochlorous acid, of course. It kills germs everywhere else. Why not on the outside skin? We're going to use it on the inside skin. Step 1 of getting sick, getting a cold, getting the flu, getting COVID, is when the virus is inhaled and gets stuck on our inside skin, our epithelium. The virus has got little protein receptor sites, spike proteins. If you look at them, it's interesting pictures again. Maybe I should get the pictures. Anyway, COVID sticks to your nose on the inside, and for a while it's stuck on the outside. Your skin is a good barrier, but because of little protein appendages on the outside of the virus, it'll find a correct receptor in the epithelium, the HOCl2 receptor, which the COVID binds to, and then it pulls itself in close, and the cell wall opens up, and the virus dumps its viral proteins inside the cell and hijacks the internal mechanism of the epithelium cell in your skin to make thousands of copies of viruses, which burst out of the first few cells and infect other cells in your nose and your lungs and your throat, in your salivary glands, and you become infected with virus. There are so many that you've been reinfected time and again in the first few days of getting a cold or virus. Eventually you have a flood of viruses growing in your skin and now pouring out of your mucus and your saliva, and you are now infectious, and the symptoms start. Well, we need to stop that, and we have a perfect germ killer. We just have to apply the germ-killing hypochlorous acid to the correct place, the internal skin. And how do we do that? Well, by a mist. Although this is not my favorite mister. I'm going to mist. Oops, excuse me. If I'm going to mist, I'm going to mist. Oof. And here we go. This is another one. This is made by Vicks. They're the same thing. It's $40 in Walmart. So I bought bleach, vinegar, spray bottle, a pipette. Here we go. Look, this is our thing. This is all we have. This is all we need to never get sick again. This is water. Haha, that's funny. I wanted vinegar. Yeah, vinegar. So we have vinegar, bleach, vinegar, water. Measuring, we make 150 ppm in a spray bottle in a cup. We can make a gallon of it and stick it in the refrigerator and dilute it to 150 when we want it here. Inside this is the last purchase we're making here. We're getting a Cool Mist dehumidifier. I've already put some 300 ppm in there, and we are going to turn it on, I hope. Boop, 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 yes. And I like this one better because it just blows out a bunch. And so, how do we want to get hypochlorous acid inside? Well, turn it on and breathe it. And yes, there are studies that show healthcare workers who 3 times a day inhaled HOCl mist, that they were protected 10-to-1 versus getting COVID. Why would that happen? It smells like a YMCA pool. It's a little bit of chlorine. 300 goes in the bottom, 200 ppm comes out the top. And breathing in water by itself is very advantageous. Breathing in hypochlorous water kills germs that are stuck on my inside skin. Before, it gets my nose wet too, and my mustache. Fine, now I have inhaled hypochlorous acid, 200 ppm hypochlorous acid. It has coated my nasal passages. Do you think that a MRSA patient in a nursing home who has MRSA growing in small numbers, but it's definitely growing in their warm, wet nasal passages, how about a few seconds of hypochlorous acid? Within 15 seconds, the MRSA is killed. No more MRSA in the nose. No more MRSA carriers. So this should be used in nursing homes. And why not give nursing home patients their own little spray bottle to use on their dentures, and have a mister somewhere in the hallway. So each patient could daily disinfect your inside skin, your nose, and nose and lungs all the way down there without toxicity, without anything happening, and we have cleaned our inside skin as well as we clean our outside skin. And now I have a germ-free dentures, germ-free home, germ-free mouth from toothbrush and spray, germ-free skin from like 300 ppm like Vash wound cleanser. Now I've got a germ-free nose, throat, and lungs. I don't have to get sick again. I just have to treat myself, clean myself better using the same chemical that God uses inside our bodies. Okay, what happens if you think you get sick? All right, now I haven't been doing daily HOCl mistreatments, and yeah, I went out and lived a life, and okay, I'm starting to feel sick. I can tell something's coming on. The viruses are rapid replication in the incubation period is the beginning. I should get that picture. This is useful. Excuse me a second. Viral load. Here we go. Viral load. All right, here we are. I don't know if you're going to focus in on this. I hope you do. Anyway, this is the viral load. This is normal. You start out with a tiny little bit. During the first few days, it goes way up here. Symptoms start, and it takes a week or so until they finally come back down. I'm proposing that we all just do daily HOCl mist inhalations. If we catch a virus and it starts to rapidly replicate, before we even get sick, if we coat our inside skin, nose, throat, and lungs with hypochlorous mist, it will never take off and get to the point where we have symptoms. More likely, we're going to not do that. And when we start to get sick, our viral load in our nose, in our mouth, in our lungs is high already. But how about we just start HOCl mistings a couple times a day to bring down the viral load on the inside skin, on the epithelium, so you don't continually reinfect more epithelium skins, and you become less contagious. Drive down the viral load, and you can recover fast, if at all. So, I mean, not if at all. Fast if you get sick at all. This is what I'm proposing with HOCl, and the research proves, well, it's showing that HOCl works just fine, just like this. And I'm bringing it to you because, at the very least, I want germ-free dentures. That's ridiculous. And a germ-free mouth makes perfect sense. There's no reason why people can't make a little spray bottle of this, have it in their bathroom or their car or both, and have a germ-free mouth. That's a heck of a good start. And if people just did that, I would be thrilled. All right, let me get rid of this. All right. So what have we covered here? We've covered how to make hypochlorous acid in 2 different concentrations, all from the same ingredients. And let's see if you'd like to. There is a chart. Where's my chart? Well, load chart. I have a chart. Well, I don't have a chart. It should be at the end. There it is, HOCl chart. Okay, if you'd like to know all the different permutations of how you can mix HOCl, I include in the thing a recipe chart. So for 150 ppm, you can make a cup of 100. Yeah, you got 10 drops each, or you got 20 drops if you want to make a cup of 300 ppm. You want to make a quart, you can. So it's a quart. You got it's a teaspoon or so. And you want to make a gallon, that certainly makes the most sense to me. Then you've got HOCl. We just did it here. It's a gallon of water and either 3 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon, the same thing of bleach and hypochlorous acid. So now you're armed with everything you need to know to make your own hypochlorous acid, to kill the germs on your dentures, on your mouth, in your nose, in your lungs, on your skin, in the wounds. That's all it takes. They should sell it. They do actually sell it. I showed you they sell it, but they're not talking about it anyway. It has to do with corporate influence on dentists and doctors. We talked about the GlaxoSmithKline paying the ACP, the American College of Prosthodontists, who are supposed to be the experts, on influencing how they wrote their denture disinfection guidelines. They admitted the denture tablets don't kill all the germs, and then proceeded to recommend them anyway, disregarding the microwave solution and bleach. It was just out and out lies in the whole document. And the ADA, our main group, just rubber stamped it and said, okay, fine. But that means we're not teaching patients how to clean their dentures, to sterilize their dentures using bleach at home. It's sinful, frankly, especially now that the germs have gotten so dangerous, and we're letting them go everywhere in the hospitals, in everything. Oh, the other thing here, if you have all these implants, the doctors, this is what the doctors are now doing. All right, it pisses me off even more so. This is a model of a patient with implants. Okay, and I make dentures all the time, and we can have, if the implants are in the gums, we can have a snaps in the denture, and the denture can go pop, and it can be fixed in a mouth, and it's really, really much better, especially lower denture. I like doing this, and it may help. But we have it removable. They're snaps, and it's removable, and I can spray my denture with my solution every day, and I can take it out and I can spray my mouth. In fact, if you have a toothbrush, I don't know where my toothbrush is. If you have a toothbrush and you have implants, you damn well better. The implants will not get gum disease. No, will not get cavities. Streptococcus mutans is the one for that, and that'll affect teeth bad enough. You know this stuff is going to kill Streptococcus mutans. If you'd like no cavities, kill the germs in your mouth. But I know it'll kill the gum disease germs, which affect old people and teeth and implants. So if you spend all this money on implants and the doctor didn't tell you, hey, how about you kill the germs with hypochlorous acid around your implants? And then the implants don't get gum disease. They're not going to get cavities. The implants stay in your mouth forever. All fine. A lovely idea. Terrific. You know what they're doing now? In their zeal to sell implants, and patients don't know any better, they want locked-in teeth, as in not removable, but for some reason locked-in is supposed to be better. Well, if you're going to make a giant porcelain bridge that is locked in on implants, that's fine, because porcelain doesn't grow germs like this plastic does. The plastic grows germs horribly, but the doctors are now locking in, turning the snap-in into lock-in ones. So now this is in a patient's mouth for whatever they say, 6 months, 4 months, 3 months, until you go to the dentist, they unscrew it, clean it once, and put it back in, which is disgusting. The germs that grow on a denture in a mouth that cannot be removed is disgusting and horrible, and that's just frankly malpractice, and that's where we're going. The doctors are trying to sell more and more implants, and they're locking in plastic because it's a hell of a lot cheaper than that ear-to-ear porcelain bridge, which might break, and now you need to spend $15,000 just to get a new bridge. I'm not a big fan. Well, all-on-4s are fine, but now they're morphing into dentures all-on-4 that is unremovable, uncleansable, and frankly malpractice. So don't do that. Don't do that. If you do, now the doctor's abused you and you stuck something in your mouth that grows germs and you cannot clean. There is happily a solution for those poor folks. Well, now you've got this denture stuck in your mouth. How am I supposed to clean around it? Yes, frequent rinses with, frankly, I might use a stronger one, maybe a mix of this, a little stronger, 200 ppm HOCl, can be rinsed around a denture that's locked in a mouth. Should be rinsed around the implants that are, when you've spent $20, $30, $50,000 on implants and lovely teeth, how about don't get gum disease? We'll kill the germs. It just rinse your mouth out with hypochlorous acid that you make at home for nothing. So you're very welcome, but dentists, be very wary of the dentists who are aggressively selling implants at the expense of your health, and everybody in the family is now going to be exposed to all the germs that are growing on Grandpa's locked-in denture that he's so proud of. I've got a patient like that, and the poor guy, I couldn't tell him. Now, next time I see him, I'm going to give him, I need to call him. Maybe he'll see this particular video, please, and know what to do, or his family knows what to do, so the poor guy, he's living in a flood of germs, which probably is what most folks in nursing homes are doing. It's locked in. It's the same thing, whether it's locked in or you choose not to take it out. Nobody ever told you how to clean the damn thing. You're essentially locking in the dentures and brewing, incubating the worst dentures in the world. And we can fix that. There are 3 huge pathogen reservoirs in the world, in hospitals, in nursing homes, and dentures, when in fact I really believe there's only one major reservoir in our lives that is infecting everyone, and I think it's dentures. Dentures in nursing homes are the prime reservoir, not the poor patients. Clean the dentures. Disinfect dentures with just a simple bleach solution, hypochlorous acid solution made from bleach. And all of a sudden now the dentures, the reservoir that infects the patients, each patient is gone. And if we use the hypochlorous acid mist, now they don't have to get sick. Nobody has to get sick. So hypochlorous acid is your best friend here. I am Dr. Paul Serby. I believe that if you lead a germ-free life and don't get sick, and don't use your immune system at all, kill the germs on the outside. And if you don't use your immune system, you won't have the DNA damage, you won't have the free radicals, we won't age as fast, we won't catch cancer as quickly, because we have eliminated the number one free radical source, which is our immune system, killing the germs that we allow in our bodies via contaminated dentures or surfaces and around the house. So now I've given you my best advice on how to do this. I love you. I'll please tell your friends. I've given you this information essentially for free on how to do this. At this point, you got to take it over. I've been given this. I've written it up. I will include the PDF of the entire story, the science behind it, the biology behind hypochlorous acid, why it's such a terrific germ killer, and it has to do with proteins. It just crumples the protein shape. That's why an internal sniff of hypochlorous acid will inactivate the viruses on the internal skin, because it messes up those little protein spikes that are necessary to attach to our epithelium. they turn into little clumps of nothing that don't do anything, and the viruses are just rinsed out of your nose in mucus, and it just goes away, inactive. You don't get reinfected. You don't get infected the first time. So hypochlorous acid is key. There's a big story behind it. I've enjoyed very much learning it. I had to find it myself. Dentistry has no geriatric specialty, which is why I had to figure this out, because this is I do this for patients, and I will not allow you people to walk around with germs in your mouth anymore. Once I found out, I have to tell you. So this is one of my attempts at trying to get the information across. I hope it works. I have download the book. Learn how to have a germ-free life, how to not get sick, how to live forever. Tell your friends. Come to and go see an elder dentist at ProDentures. If I'm lucky, someday I won't be the only one. It's a good idea, and it's needed for this time, at least, to start winning the war against germs. We don't have to get sick at hospitals. We don't have to do that. Hospitals should have, well, frankly, they should use bleach. Why not? That's a good question. Why don't hospitals use bleach as much? I would love it if I went in a hospital or an ICU and it smelled like bleach. I know that the germs are killed. There's none there. Again, corporations influence the doctor, specifically the doctor who was hired to write the CDC's infection control guidelines. He ignored dentures. He downplayed hypochlorous acid, always called it hypochlorite. And the alternative high-level disinfection companies, they make different peroxides and aldehydes that kills germs. Not as good as hypochlorous acid, but it kills germs. And so they use all of those in hospitals. And those companies supported Dr. William Rutala's research before and after he wrote the CDC guidelines. And I'm sure he's had a wonderful life and has a scholarship fund that he can dole out to whatever research project he chooses. Of course, they will be the research projects paid for by the companies who donated to the research fund. I'll bet you $100. It all comes back to money. So the doctors don't use hypochlorous acid much, and they put this crazy restriction on hypochlorous acid in hospitals. Here, my little this, I was using it just to hold water. Boop. It is a hypochlorous acid maker. We put in water and salt, NaCl, and vinegar. You put it in here, plug it in here, plug it in, turn it on, and hydrogen gas comes out, and the solution turns into hypochlorous acid. It's what Clorox does in large scale. They use electricity to to energize oxygen, to grab onto the chlorine in salt water, and now we have hypochlorite, which can be turned into hypochlorous acid. They do it fine. Why the doctors need to make it out of salt water on site makes no sense. We have this. This is going to stay good forever. We have this in a refrigerator. It's going to stay good months, long before we need it. And yet they have restrictions on it. And it's all been done on purpose to minimize the use of the cheapest and the best germ killer in places where we really should be using the best and saving money, and we're not, because corporations influence people and who are writing the rules. And it happened in dentistry, it happened in medicine. Everybody's happy, they're all making money, but our patients are sick and getting sicker and dying. So we're going to stop that. I'm going to tell you, I told you how to use hypochlorous acid. Make it yourself, use it everywhere. Keep your implants, don't have gum disease, don't have infected wounds, don't ever get a virus again, or treat it as soon as possible with hypochlorous acid by breathing in the mist. And all the research that proves it is in, I've written down here. There's a whole lot of information as I've gone on forever here for you. Anyway, this is Dr. Paul Serby signing off on this version of the glory of hypochlorous acid. What God uses on the inside, we are going to use on the outside, and stay healthy and live to be 120. I'd like to see my great grandkids, wouldn't you? Anyway, that's where